what's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning back to my channel. Today what I'll be doing is readjusting this bumper to a different position. This is my neighbor's truck. IG name compa Jandro. I'll put a link down on the bottom if you guys want to see a little bit of this truck build. So what he did, he put a different grill on this truck, and I'm sorry, the bumper. And as you can see, this is a really nice bumper with the chrome and then the color matched area. So the issue that he came across now is that the bumper is sitting forward about 2.5 inches, and it's also sitting lower about 2 inches. So what I'm going to be doing, I didn't want to get into cutting any of the frame, but I'm always down to cut the bumper brackets, just because you can always weld those back in. I looked in there, it looks like I'll have all the clearance by putting the frame close to the front of the bumper. And my idea is to just basically cut off the bracket and then re-weld a bracket to bolt the bolt right around 2.5 inches back here, like a little support with a welded nut. And I'm gonna have to cut a hole right here if I want the bolt to go all the way through, or just to clear, not really go all the way through, just clear. Another issue is that these brackets for here are for the old bumper, so they're not really matching up, and the ones, they're close, but I'm gonna have to move the bumper back, so I'm gonna have to notch those and re-weld them. So I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do with that. And our goal is to try to keep this around 1/2 inch away from the bumper, from the grill, so where it gives a nice profile look, and hopefully we can do this pretty quick. So first thing I'm going to do is take off the bumper, which I think he said it's only held on by two bolts on each side, so it'll be nice and easy. So let me do that first. One thing I'm noticing right off the bat is front end damage. That has definitely been hit on this corner. I can see how it's recessed back. The whole frame is back, probably, from my point of view, 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch. That is faced back, is further back. So I'm not going to take any of that in consideration. I didn't realize that he had front end damage, but my goal is to make that bumper flush or even to the rest of the grill. So let's start by taking off that hook and cutting off the bumper brackets. Alright guys, now that I got the frame bare, it's time to slightly figure out how far I have to go. So what I'm gonna do, I have this angle bar that I was thinking of cutting up in like 4 inch increments, and welding it. I'll probably trim this down about 1/2 inch and weld it in place, drill a hole here, weld the bottom nut of that piece on here, and that should get me the brackets that I want for here. That's roughly where I need it to be. So now that I have that, yep, 2 3/4 from the top of this. Voila. Too high on this side, perfect on that side. So I gotta drop this side about 1/2 inch possibly. Pretty even on both sides. I can still adjust those slight differences with like a washer, put a little washer in between, but I think that right where it's at, once everything is bolted down, it'll look perfect. You know, the truck has some damage, so it's, you know, it's hard to get it dead on because like the fender is crooked on this side, so it's some of it's not going to look precisely like perfect, you know. Right now what I'm going to do, let me remove this grill all the way so I can show you guys what. All right, so I'm gonna have to drill a hole right around here and drill a hole right around here so that we could bolt it on right there. All right guys, we're getting somewhere finally. So I drilled the holes, those are in place. I welded some angle bar on the bottom to reinforce that. Now what I did is I put a microfiber cloth right there, and then I pulled the bumper right where I needed to be. Came back to this side and I taped it also right where I needed to be. So my next thing is right where these bolts are right now, or the holes I mean for the brackets, that's where I need to put a brace to weld those in place. I thought originally, that's why I cut this up like this, I thought originally I could probably just weld this in place like that, and honestly I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. Just weld it right where that's at. See how that matches perfectly? So then the only thing I'm gonna have to do is cut this bracket off of this one. These are inexpensive anyways. You know, if he ever wants to replace these, he's gonna have to buy one anyways. Might as well use two. That way this looks a little bit better. So I'm gonna cut that off so I can weld it just like that. All right, guys. So I got all the brackets in the center, welded in. So you guys can see the bumper is in a lot better spot. It's almost perfect. It looks pretty even on both sides. What I'm gonna do now is trim these based on what I fit up there. With this being right up against the bracket, the frame is right around here. So what I'm gonna do is notch off from here about 1.5 inches. So then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have this little flange by itself. I'm gonna bolt it in, but I'm gonna curve it because this is gonna be shorter now. So it's not gonna be sitting straight. I'm gonna put a slight of an angle, like a 45 maybe, so that this reaches, and I'm gonna re-weld it here. So I'm gonna cut both of these. All right, so there it is, it's cut. I only cut about 1.25 inches. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt that piece in, angle it, and then bolt this in and see where I'm at. And if I have an area where it joins close, I'm gonna start welding it. All right, guys. So let me just show you guys really quick how I did it. Instead of 2 bolts, I'm gonna use only 1. Reason being, if I put the second one, this bracket goes up a lot higher, almost to where that bolt is at. So it, you know, it's a big problem. Sorry for the shaky camera. I'm trying to adjust it a little bit better for you guys. So right now where it's at, you guys can see perfect area right there. So right there is where I'm gonna weld it. And that is right where I want the bumper to be. So once I'm done welding this, I'm just gonna go ahead and bolt both of those bolts up, and I'm not gonna show you guys the other side because it's exactly the same thing. What I will do is take off the bumper one last time though before, so I can show you guys how I did how the center looks. All right, guys, so before I weld those brackets in place and finish up this install, let me show you guys how it looks. This is the angle that I used to set this up. I use this angle because it's a lot easier to find the measurements. Then I recycle those pieces for the bottom. They ended up going up about 3 inches. What else? Let me see. I painted everything just so that it doesn't rust up. Again, that one is more of an angle than this one because this whole front is moved in. Really, I don't know what else to say. I can't give you guys the exact measurements on your truck because, like I said, this had front end damage, so the measurements are pretty much all custom size, custom length, custom distances because of the hit. But roughly, I will say that it's roughly 3 inches, 2 7/8, 2 3/4, somewhere along that line. This one is 1/8 of an inch difference than that one. And I don't want to give you guys that accurate measurement because since this was hit, it might have pushed the frame down. I don't know, so I'm not going to go ahead and give you guys measurements on that, but I just kind of give you guys the idea on how to make up some brackets, some simple brackets to modify this bumper and recess it in place, something that's still nice and rigid and it's not going to be like dangling or falling off on you. Once this is bolted on all 6 areas, it won't move. So let me finish this bumper up and then I'll finish this video with the bumper already done, the grill on and everything ready to go. All right, guys, so this is the end result. I will admit I ended up going back and adding a couple of spacers between the bumper and the brackets. Actually only on the top. I put the bottom mounts, I flipped them to the top part because that gap was a little bit too high, too thick. I by the time I got done putting the grill back on completely, like it was different than when I was prepping it, probably because since I was just kind of setting it over where the holes were at, it wasn't giving me true measurement. So I misjudged that by about almost a 1/4 inch. So by the time I was done, you could walk through here and you can see a gap through the center. So I didn't really like that. So I went back and did that, flipped those over, put some spacers on the top to nicely gap that. And you know, the outer brackets, just loosened them up, and they went up nicely and with no issues. Now it's really nice and tight. The center, I think, is touching very lightly, but it doesn't look bad at all. It looks really nice because you kind of see the whole contour looks pretty even. I know that the grill is giving him issues, so this is perfect right here. It's sticking out just a bit here, but it's because this needs to snap in, and that will kind of level off because the fender is hit, so it's not letting this go in properly. But the bumper itself, it's perfectly even. Couldn't be more happier, honestly. Took me a little bit longer than I was expecting, but you know, it's worth it overall. Once again, thank you guys that are subscribed to me for the support. It means a great deal to me. So I'll be putting a lot more videos truck related. I'll be doing a follow-up video on the stuff that I've done to my truck, and you know, the things that I'll be doing to it also in the next couple of weeks. I'll be doing a lot more street trucks, and hopefully getting you guys that are in the street truck scene more ideas on how to do stuff like this on your own or with your friends, rather than taking this to a shop when it's something that you guys can do, you know, for a fraction of the cost. So once again, thank you guys for the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video.